The Association of the Council of University Presidents of Thailand (CUPT) has recently organized the University Expo 2018 to push universities towards becoming centers of innovation, driving the country towards Thailand 4.0. Swadika, welcome to Thailand Today program on NBT World. Today we have Mr. Pornvit Pacharin Tana Kun. He's a Vice President of the Academic Affairs, Panya Pivat Institute of Management, or we are calling in short is PIM. Well, we discuss with us why university must be driven force in transforming the country's human resources to keep up with the technological future of the economy. So, very welcome to Swadika. Welcome to Thailand Today program, sir.
Thank you.
Well, today we're going to talk about the PIM or Panya Pivat Institute of Management driving to Thailand 4.0. So for this, I'm sure because people in foreign country that we are showing them that they may not know. They know about Chulalongkorn University, Thammasat University, but how about Panya Pivat University? What actually, how do you collaborate with others?
Okay. Panya Pivat Institute of Management, or PIM, is a private university under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Education.
Yes, sir.
It was founded 11 years ago by a public company called CPR Public Company Limited.
I see.
CPR is one of the three major companies of the Jalanpopan Group,
I see.
or CP Group. CPR itself is a licensee or a franchisee of 7-Eleven convenience store from the US. The reason why CPR founded PIM is because during the course of doing business of CPR, the management faced a kind of requirement or recruitment of personnel being able to run retail business. So the company decided to recruit students in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. Since we could not find people or staff experienced or trained in a retail business management. And the deal with the Ministry of Education is that the students attend classes for half of the time and doing real work in the convenience store another half of the time.
Not really.
That means there is a 50% real work in the field and another 50% in the normal classroom.
Interesting.
And by so doing, we found that the people or the staff learn better. The staff can produce more. That means they become more efficient. And that is the reason and the original of the concept of work-based learning. That means you really do something while learning, and at the same time you learn something while doing.
Interesting. This is
And actually that become the origin of the total concept of our university, which was founded 11 years ago.
I see.
And today we have 10 faculties, 2 colleges. We have 34 bachelor, master, and PhD program. And the medium of education is in Thai, English, and Chinese. We have, as of today, 15,000 students. Roughly 90% in the bachelor degree level and 10% in the master and PhD level.
Interesting. So who are they actually? How do they enlist to the university?
In the bachelor degree program, we recruit or we admit students from high school.
I see.
In Thailand, this is Mathayom Hok or vocational high school. This is the third year of vocational level. Master degree, of course, this is bachelor degree graduate, and for PhD is a master graduate. Most of the program, of course, are in Thai, but we have one program, bachelor degree in English. We have another program, master degree in English and Chinese. We have our PhD is at the moment only in Chinese. What else we have? We put students, as we said, into practical work. We train them in collaboration with corporations. We put them really
Maybe
on
hard.
the job.
On the job.
Yes. We can probably come to that in detail afterwards
I see.
when we talk about work-based education, work-based learning.
May I ask, because if they go and learn all this, do they get paid for the part that they work?
Yes, most of the students who work, they get paid on a
Interesting.
per day basis or per hour basis, depending on the companies who admit them for work-based learning.
Interesting. So when to join the university, do they have to pay? Or is it free of charge?
There is normal school fees of private university in Thailand.
I see.
But a number of companies who collaborate with us, they sponsor the students' school fees, totally or partly. Most of them partly,
I see.
with one condition that after graduation, the students should work for them for about 2 years, 4 years. Normally, it's about half or full of the 4-year program.
That's an interesting program that we hardly know about it because, these students been selected actually, right? Because they are ready to support them to generate the money to them.
The company who sponsors scholarship for the students to study in 4 years program, they actually interview them from the beginning, just like interviewing an employee.
I see.
That means if you graduate your high school,
Yes.
You apply with PIM, and if company A sponsor your scholarship,
Yeah.
partly or fully, the company will come interview you in such a way
That's right.
that they recruit the employee. But then they put you into the classroom half of the time, and the other half they bring them into your workplace
Yes.
and put them into work.
Interesting. So that's what come into this concept of development human resources to help the country also to the business and industrial sector.
We at PIM we said we are an institute that develop people. When we say this, we broaden our mindset of an institute that teach student and the student learn. But we say when we say we develop people, we mean how can we make students better equipped with their career, with their profession, with their life. Because school or university should not be only committed to develop technical skills. Because when you go out and live your life in society, in addition to what you are able to perform in your profession or occupation, you should be able to live peacefully, happily
At least,
in
yes.
society and take care of your life. And therefore, we said we develop people in such a way that they are able to do their job. That means they should have their professional skill. They are
Interesting.
able to live happily with other people or coordinate with people during their working life. That is their social skill.
Yep.
And that is not enough because if you don't live your life happily,
Of course.
if you can work, if you have a good career, and yet you do not know how to manage your finance, you become indebted. This is not a
Exactly.
happiness.
Exactly.
So you should be able to manage your life as well, including your healthy status and your social dealing with people.
Yeah, but at least you help to prepare students.
Yes.
People are human to out to the world, to the future.
Right.
They're going to have that, right?
A lot of people may complain that when a student is already 18 years old, they are too late to change. We said we should not complain. We should start doing.
They may think like before, what you call hardwood.
Hardwood.
Hardwood are not able to change.
Yeah. But whether it is not able or not, we just ignore that. And we say, as a teacher, it's our duty to do it.
Exactly.
No matter how they are. Okay, to what extent we can do, we do our best. And so far, we have already some 6,000 graduates. And talking to the entrepreneur who recruit them, they're happy with our graduates.
I was about to ask you this.
They are happy with our graduate in such a way that what they comment is the following. They said, these people are energetic, they are disciplined, and they're mature compared to boys and girls of the same age. My belief is that they have these 2 years of real life training. They see the world.
Is it 2 years education?
It's 4 years bachelor degree, but during the 4 years, they spend half of the time in the university, and the other half of the time in the workplace. Our curriculum is scheduled in such a way that they attend class for 3 months, and then they go to the workplace for another 3 months.
The workplace, the sense of they go to CP? Or they go to the...
They go to various companies. It depends. If they are in the business administration, they learn what we call modern trade business management. They go to CP Group, in particular the retail store. If they learn computer or automation or robotics, they go to our they go to suppliers or the companies who have coordination with us. Factory who use robotic to produce in the production line, not necessarily CP Group, but just anybody. If they learn language, they go and practice the language. They may practice the language in a hotel. They may practice in the duty-free shop.
Duty-free shop.
Even though they can, of course, practice the language Chinese, Japanese, and English in any environment. We have thousands of companies who sign MOU with us. They are ready to recruit our graduates. Once you graduate, come to us. Because this is a good timing for them to observe the ability of the boys and girls. So we can say 100% of graduates have their jobs within the first few weeks.
Show Thai to the world, a concept of Siam style program to introduce you to well-known Thai role models. Ultimate amazing tourist attractions. Innovative Thai products. Let's proudly join Siam styles from 4 regions, 77 provinces across Thailand.
Experiencing the shortage of labor at the moment. So this can substitute, can also help in this kind of shortages.
Yes, partly it answers the shortage. But actually, it's a funny world, you know. We have the feeling that a lot of graduates are jobless, they couldn't find a good job. And we have companies who want to recruit people, but they couldn't find enough people. And some studies say that because students do not learn what the corporation require, which is partly true because some institutes produce graduates without looking at the demand. At PIM, what we do is we do not create a curriculum just because we want to do it, but we create a curriculum only because there is a demand. When we talk to companies, they express that they need people in such and such a skill. Once we learn this, we come back and design a curriculum. For example, we talk to the building, real estate management, the management of building. You know, when you live in a condominium, you have the
company management.
The company who manage the building.
I see.
They said they need some people who understand buildings construction, understand the laying of pipes and water pipe, but they also need someone who knows accounting, customer service, marketing. And this is a hybrid of many disciplines. So we create a course called Real Estate and Building Management. and the student will have to learn how to read a blueprint. For example, they have to learn how to lay bricks and cement or mix the cement, but at the same time they have to learn how to do marketing and talk to customers. So they learn business administration, they learn architecture, they learn
service-minded to be there and all kind of things. So that means the curriculum that being set in the university, in the PIM, can mold it, can be changed, can be...
it can be changed anytime.
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 I see.
When we develop a course called robotics and automation, we talk to a number of companies with robotics and automation.
But some university also.
Some university also have this. But they said what they need now is someone who can operate the machines, which is true. When you teach somebody who operates robotics, robotic you can of course purchase, you can't produce yourself yet, but you have to make it in such a way that the robot can work for you in the production line, for example. And this requires people who can write software. They should be a software engineer, and yet they have to know mechanics. So it's a mechatronic plus computer software engineering.
Interesting.
And in fact, you really need to talk to employers. I can give you one reference. There is a study by an international consulting company.
Okay.
They talk to a lot of people in the business world and in the university world. What they found out is that more than 75% of people in both worlds, business and university, they don't talk to each other. And
They don't know
this
each
is
other,
very
or what?
funny.
They don't know each other?
They don't talk even. They never talk.
I see.
What the labor force, what the labor market requires. So university produce students without knowing what the labor market will need, and which is very strange. And this is studied by an international consulting company. And in our own experience, it's quite true. If you talk to any professors or any administration people in the university, or talk to any company, talk to them how often do they talk to corporations. In fact, at PAM, because we are at an advantage situation because we belong to a commercial company. And therefore, our root actually started from business people. And with the contact we have with all the business people, we have the requirements. During the course of conversation, they will tell you, look, we lack this kind of people. Can you give us? And that's the starting point of how we develop a course.
Can we say that people who graduate from PIM better chance in working in some companies than any other university?
Without boasting, we can say most of the graduates, they have the job with even before they graduate. One simple thing is that we put them into work. During that time of their practicum,
they
already learn their potential employers, and employer can already look at their performance. And a lot of them say, look, once you graduate, come to us.
Interesting.
Because this is a good timing for them to observe the ability of the boys and girls. So we can say 100% of graduates have their jobs within the first few weeks.
Interesting. As Thailand is, present government is introducing Thailand 4.0. So do you think that this kind of resources going to be helpful to this?
I'm sure if we do it like this, that can answer the questions. Because in the 4.0, we need a lot of people who understand the new technology, not only of today, but the technology that would come tomorrow. So if you expose the students to the real world will tell them, we are not sitting and waiting for things to happen. We have to imagine how things will happen. And because if you don't do this, your business will die. So teaching alone is not enough. Telling people what will happen is not enough. Touching it, feeling it, and listening to the real people in the real world we really convince you that this is the way that will happen. I mean, 5 years ago, if you tell people, look, you can buy a lot of things online.
No,
people
not
won't
trustable.
believe
We don't want to pay the money and,
Right. But then this is what happens. If you, 5 years ago, if you tell people, look, the bank will not exist anymore, people will, the banking people will not like you. But now they know themselves, so they adjust now that people don't go to the physical bank anymore.
Well, we have to ask about the Thai universities. How should they trying to adjust themselves to keep pace with this change in the market?
I think we have to realize that the job in university is, on the major part, is to produce capable knowledge workforce. Now, knowledge workforce have to answer requirement of
Companies.
the companies. So what you need to do is you need to get regular in touch with companies. You need to know what sort of people they would need. Surveying alone may help, but not enough. So some of the teachers should actually work in their companies, interchange. And you could bring someone from the companies into your board or meeting to involve them that this is the education world, so that they understand your world. And you put some educators, your professor, administration, onto the board or meeting group of the companies and to see what really happens. University cannot be on a utopia. You cannot dream. This is what will happen.
It has to touch and have to.
I mean, for sure, education people have their foresight because technology, part of the technology advancement comes from education institution. But as today, another part of technology comes from the R&D department of corporations. Because in corporation, they know if they do not do good research into the requirement of people in the future, they will not exist.
All right.
Because if you don't have the customers, you have no business.
No business, of course.
And your customer will pay for what that can satisfy their needs and requirements. So both worlds should be dependent on each other.
Recently, you arranged a kind of a expo, university expos. Do you think that can come into help of anything of Thailand proposal?
Yes. At the very start, that bring awareness.
Okay, bring awareness
to people in the education world, to people in the normal world. That means to would be students in university, parents, and so on. They should be brought or made aware that this is the world that's going to happen, and set the direction of university to set their course and the training or curriculum, and the student to be aware that what they need to know is not what people teach you today or 5 years ago, but what you need to know is what would happen in 5 years, 10 years time. You see, students graduate at the age of about 22. If you take 60 as the age of working, they will have about 40 more years. In 40 years, what will happen? If you look backwards, 40 years ago, I think more than half of the jobs did not exist at that time. But how can people perform? That means they have to be aware of whatever that is new to come, and be ready to learn something new, retrain. When I was young, of course, there was no computer. But at this age, people of my age, a lot of them still could work with computer. So you retrain yourself.
Great. Keep on
doing.
Keep
on retraining. And that's why we, at university, at PM in particular, we train students to think, which is not easy. In our examination, we try to avoid memory type of questions because students are trained to learn to pass the exam, which is not the end of any education. It is the means to the end. Our teachers and professors, they are always reminded that you are not teaching students for the exam. And our students are reminded that once you pass the exam, it's not enough. The exam is only part of the assessment tool to measure how much you know.
Yes.
But there are a lot of things that cannot measure by examination. For example, discipline. You can't measure by
you
examination.
can create also. Difficult.
Work ethics, governance. This you cannot put it on the question and tick right or wrong. It's a matter of training, matter of making yourself aware that you have to behave like this, or critical thinking, strategic thinking. There's no way you can assess people by ticking on the examination paper alone.
Right. Very interesting talk, really. And please do come back and tell us in the progress of this matter.
Okay.
You know, that giving hopes and to Thailand for to have such a good student to come out. So we end up our program with thanks to Mr. Pornvit Pacharin Tanakun. He's a Vice President for Academic Affairs, Panya Piwat Institute of Management or calling short in PIM. Thank you so much, sir, for being here and
Thank you.